Hello everyone, welcome to Super Coaching IAS by Textbook. This is Venkatesh, your faculty for Geography. In this video, we will discuss about how geography and industries are interrelated. What factors which will have an impact on location of a certain industry. Do industries have an impact on geography or do geography have an impact on industries? Which one is right? I would say both, right? So you have location of geography, a certain area which is an impact of geography has an impact on the industry, and similarly industries also together will change the location of a certain region. So I would say that it is a location of an industry is a reason of a geographical thing, but that also will keeps on changing. So it's a mix of both. The relationship is on either side. One of the subject of study of geography is about where are the things located, why are they located, how are they located. In this video, we will study about where are they located and how are they located, why are they located, whatever the reasons are. Okay, I hope you are able to understand the intricacies here. So when you talk about industrial geography, you can see there's a big factory located. So it is nearer to a, it looks like a something like a river bank or a port. You can see here. So a water body. So there is a reason for location nearer to a river body, something like that. There are so many factors. When you see a location of industry, there are so many factors which will be impacting it. There are primarily the geographical factors and then the economic factors or the non-geographical factors as well, the non-geographical factors. Let us discuss about each thing. I think my audio and video is clear to you, right? Okay, right. Then good. Then when you talk about what are the types of industries you have, if you understand about just a basic idea, there is so many methods of classification of industries. So example, when you study from the economic geography, from the studies of economics, pure economic subject, you will see that there are so many types of industries, like labor intensive industry. There is about things like micro, small, medium enterprises, okay, big industries, so many classifications, public, private in terms of ownership, so many things are there. But when you talk about the nature of the industry, one of the classification you can divide it into primary, secondary, tertiary industry. For example, there is an industry of primary sector, as you can see in this picture, primary sector industry. What is primary sector industry? Majorly which are associated with the primary activities of agriculture, fishing and all. You will see that there will not be much kind of value addition, but generally they have a huge role to play. For example, you see fishing industry here. You can see here the fishing industry. Now, I think we all studied from oceanography. Wherever you will find the warm current and cold current, the confluence of warm current and the cold current, you will find what? You will find fishing industry. Along those areas, this is a geographical location, no? This geographical location will help in development of good fishing industry. For example, the Grand Banks of USA on the northeastern coast, near to the urbanized centers of northeastern America, in general, you will find a very, very big fishing industry. So you have good shipping industry and all these kind of things. So there is the base is the fishes. So it is a primary sector industry. I am not talking about the association linkage with ancillary industry, with secondary development of manufacturing of ships and all. No, generally how the fishing industry is developed, that you can say. Then you can say when you talk about the big forests, you have the woods, the logs. What do you call this activity? Cutting of wood is called as what? Anyone? Cutting of woods, what do you call that? It is lumbering. Lumbering, right. Then you can talk about the dairy sector. dairy industry. You can talk about agriculture industries, say cotton industry. Okay, agriculture, of course, you will find that agriculture industries, say cotton industry, we are converting that finished product into a new product, and that will be secondary unit. That is a secondary sector, not a primary sector. But in general, agriculture. Say, for example, I'll ask you a question. Does food processing comes under primary or does it comes under secondary? Primary or secondary? Anyone? Food processing industry? It is a mix of both. Actually, in terms of the nature of the work, it is a mix of both. For example, secondary industry. When you convert, say, a product like potato chips, a product like potatoes, which you get from out of agriculture, and you change its taste by adding so many amount of flavors and all, then you are saying that that is a secondary industry, because that is an example of significant value addition. Usually primary sector industries are very raw, not much of a significance. For example, when I say honey bee industry, you collect the honey, you provide directly, you don't bring much changes. Yes, there is some kind of adulteration techniques and all are there, that is different in general. Okay. So, primary sector industries, the nature of the value addition and how much original product are you, the raw material are you converting into a finished product, the changes, the more the changes, the more it will be the secondary, the less would be the primary. That is the thing. Whereas when you get directly out of the primary, then you can say that when you directly get the raw materials and there is not much of a change, then that is a primary sector industry. Food processing also has both the dimensions of secondary as well as primary. Okay, that's the thing. No, for example, imagine you are going near a sugarcane farm. Very near to a sugarcane farm, there are some kind of unorganized sector industries. You have sugarcane juice centers. Now you are just simply extracting juice out of it and providing. I would say that is a primary sector industry directly. I would not say that's called industry, but it's a very simple example. But you also have nowadays flavors out of sugarcane. No, there are some kind of value addition which you provide them, and you provide in bottles and all. Now you are significantly changing. So that is also to a certain extent primary, but it is having more secondary attributes. That is what I am trying to tell you. Okay, that is the difference. You can simply, the value addition, you can simply add it on. The more you value add, the more the content you can get out of that. That is a thing. For example, you produce ginger, and this ginger is directly consumed by certain people, bought, then that's the primary sector industry. What if that ginger is converted into a, say, some like a ginger juice, something like a ginger drinks, beverages. Nowadays you find different flavors of ginger beverages as well. So all these kind of things are what? This is where you will find so many new dimensions. That is the approach which I am talking about. Okay? Primary sector industries are of multiple things. Moving forward. Now, when you talk about a secondary industry, as you can see in this picture, this is the typical industry. This is the typical industry everyone associate. The moment when I say industry, everyone will remember the first thing, sir, factory, right? Factory. So this is where you will find that the raw material is converted into a finished product. What is that? Raw material is converted into a finished product, or sometimes semi-finished, which will be the raw material for another industry. For example, manufacturing of a vehicle, you need raw materials like rubber for the development of tires, you need manufacturing of the glass, you need the body, aluminium, you need the iron for the engine and all. So there is a manufacturing of multiple things. Leather for the interiors. Okay, there is so many raw materials. So I would say for manufacturing of car, you need multiple raw materials, which will be, there is some kind of processing needed as per the requirements of the car, and then there is assembling of all these spare products into things. Now this is nothing but raw material is converted into finished product or semi-finished product, and this semi-finished product will be the base for manufacturing. So we will find multiple things here. I hope you are able to understand. You find so many varieties in terms of the assembled industries of the vehicles, right. So this is the major industry which you talk about, the secondary industry. By the way, you also have tertiary industry, isn't it? We all know what is the tertiary industry. What is the tertiary industry or tertiary sector in general? When you talk about tertiary sector, it is a services. It is a services, right? So when you talk about tertiary sector industries, there will be concentration of tertiary sector areas at specific places where there is more transport. For example, imagine there is a better infrastructure of airline industry, there is better road, there is better connectivity with the outside world. IT sector will be easily launching. Say for example, one of the two big centers, Hyderabad and Bengaluru, have become IT centers, and they are significantly increasing from now onwards. Of course, the reason why they are increasing from now onwards is the easy availability of connectivity, right? That is a transport which is fueling the connectivity. The transport is attracting labor, new investments. Say Google has a big good branch in Hyderabad. Microsoft is trying to plan such things. Now all these things indicate what? You are talking about things like how the tertiary sector will be concentrated where there is high population density. For example, let us take a very basic example. Imagine government of India or any private sector wanted to provide state of the art medical technology in a certain disease, and where do they want it to start? For example, state of the art cancer. Even until now, cancer is still not so curable in India, isn't it? It is not curable anywhere. It is a very, very specialized industry, which is where you find hospitals which will be growing there. Now, you cannot locate a very specialized requirement of medicines, very specialized requirement of care, they say a cancer hospital at a smaller center. Why? You need to attract people from multiple places of the country. Why? Because that is very, very scarce. So where do you tend to locate? You tend to locate at big urban centers, say Mumbai, say like Hyderabad. You will find that very big urban centers where you will find the hospitals. For example, I remember that there is one Tata hospital which deals with cancer in Mumbai, right? Similarly, that if there is such kind of cancer hospitals in Hyderabad. So specialized high technology based or state of the art technology services like hospitals, like cancer hospital, where can you locate? It is a concentration of population. That is a tertiary sector industry. Where can you locate? All the big cities, say headquarters of banks. Where do you locate? Big cities. Say things like malls, big mall centers, big cities. Of course, now you are trying to differentiate as well. So what I am trying to tell you is, where is usually there is high concentration of population, you will find some exclusivity there. And that high concentration of population will attract people from different places. And the cycle goes on, keeps on going, right? See, it's very simple. If you locate any kind of a mall, where do you locate a mall? Imagine a mall is located, say, 100 kilometers from your town, from your city. Will you go there? Yes, you go there, but the frequency would be very, very less, no? The number of people who are visiting that mall should be decent enough, no, for that mall to survive, for that mall to attract, to get more money, profit. Ultimately, what is the objective here? Profit. So usually when you have high population centers where there is more concentration of population, there you will be attracting tertiary industries. That is where, as you can show in this picture, the big cities of India, especially the metros like New Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata, right? Nowadays even Ahmedabad, they are always attracting decent things, investment from different places, because they are able to serve multiple catering to multiple needs of the people. This is where tertiary sector industries will be growing. Knowledge parks. How can you attract knowledge parks? How, say for example, you all know the Silicon Valley of America, how it has grown to that level, how it is able to attract the labor, that is the skilled people from different parts of the world, how they are able to attract investments. There is a reason, no? That reason is what we are trying to learn here. I hope you are able to understand. As it is, I think it is, we are making it interesting, isn't it? The location of an industry, how it is done and all, right? So this is about the tertiary sector industries. Now when you see the general industries, what factors, the topic which usually question will be asked is, what are the general factors which will apprise the locational factors for industries? This is what you need to know. Locational factors of industries. When you talk about the locational factors of industries, you have to focus on the things like one of the key material you have is the raw material. This is one of the very major ingredient, raw material, right? So that raw material will determine which industry can be located at which place. Then the second geographical factor which is very key, I would say that it would be the power. Then the transport, market. So in fact, market, raw material, transport and power are key. These are the four key factors in terms of location of industries. Of course, other factors are also there, but these are the major locational factors. If you have raw material, if you have market, if you have transport, you will be attracting labor. For example, recently you can talk about the Vande Bharat Express trains. You can talk about in Delhi and the surrounding areas. You are talking about rapid intensification of connectivity from Delhi towards the surrounding areas, say until 200 kilometers. Okay, the new variety of trains you had here. What do? They are changing the nature of urbanization. If you see that the urban centers like Delhi, especially Delhi, you will find that it is a very big city, the national capital region of Delhi, the core Delhi, the Noida, the places like Gurgaon and all those kind of things together, it is attracting a lot of population. The density of population of this city is very high. Now, in order to reduce the stress on the big city, where the delivery of basic services is becoming a challenge, what we are trying to provide is, we are trying to provide faster transportation systems, say from 150 kilometers from the surrounding areas, so that people will come from those places and work on a daily basis, say for 100 kilometers. Imagine that in 1.5 hours, you are able to cross 150 kilometers of Delhi. 150 kilometers. What will happen? Some of the people who are living far away from Delhi, they are able to stay there. They can continue staying there itself. So we are reducing the stress on the core areas of Delhi by having proper, faster connectivity from the core Delhi towards the neighborhood. So which is determining factor here? The determining factor is transport. That is how things change, right? So that is the key thing. Nowadays, if you see, I think you all might have seen Zomato, no? Zomato app. There is something like legendary industries or Zomatos for legends. Say you are fond of Hyderabadi biryani. You can get Hyderabadi biryani if you are located in Jaipur. Say Lucknow biryani is also famous. Say Rajasthani chaat is famous. You are located at different places across the country and they are providing the delivery of these services when you order it when you order it at a minimum amount of time frame. So what is happening? Because of good connectivity of the things like airports and all these kind of things, you have a new industry which is developed right now. So sitting in Hyderabad, I can get the food from Lucknow, Delhi and Jaipur. Sitting in Jaipur, I can get the food from, say, Chennai. Imagine a South Indian Tamil person is working in, say, a city like Jaipur. Now the culture is different, the food is different. Of course, you have unique taste. Imagine you wanted to get the taste of South Indian Tamil food in Jaipur. This is the facility now. So what is happening? The transport is changing the landscape of tertiary industries. So like that, industries are also changing with time. For example, Hyderabad is called as one of the pharmaceutical hub of India, pharmaceutical hub. The reason for it calling it a pharmaceutical hub, one of the factor is the location of a greenfield airport of Hyderabad, which is called as Shamshabad. So this Shamshabad airport is connected to different places like Singapore, like like Dubai, like different places across the world as well. So there is proper connectivity. Because of that connectivity, pharmaceutical products are being exported regularly. So that is the expertise of Hyderabad. I hope you are able to follow, right? So example, you all remember that vaccine, that injection, remdesivir injection, which has become quite a popular thing in second wave of corona. Do you remember that? Hyderabad is one of the center of remdesivir vaccine. There is so many kinds of bulky goods of remdesivir vaccine which will be transported from Hyderabad to different places like Singapore and all. So what is the locational factor changing here? It is the transport. Is it not? Are you able to follow? Right. So now let us see about the particular examples about all these things. So when you talk about the raw material, the first factor, raw material, the locational factor of an industry is the raw material. Imagine you have iron ore. What happened? Imagine, you have the iron ore, you have hematite, magnetite, which contains around 70-80% of iron content in it. That's why they are called as ore. Hematite ore, 70 to 80% of 72% of iron ore. When you have this iron ore of around 70%, you will be developing a very nearby industry called as smelting. See, every industrial person is a rational person, where their primary objective is cost optimization. What is that? Cost optimization. That means for their profit to increase, they have to reduce their cost of operations. Imagine, you all know that iron and steel industry, the basic raw material is iron ore. Where is iron ore available generally in the world? It is available in the ores like hematite and magnetite. So when you talk about this ore, they are in the mix of concentrations. So iron ore, that ore has 70% iron. What about the remaining 30%? It is impurities. It is about other products which is not directly, might not be useful for the iron and steel industry. So what will happen? If you have an iron and steel in factory, you have to locate that factory very nearer to the steel plant, very nearer to the location of the ore. The steel plant has to be located very nearer to the ore, so that the cost is reducing, because you are also transporting the 30% which is of not so use to you. That is the challenge. So that is why generally industries tend to locate nearer to a raw material. So this is what you call it as weight losing industry. What is that? Weight losing industry. When an industry loses around, when it is converting using raw materials, R1 raw material, R2 another raw material, and it is converting into a finished product, if there is so much amount of loss of the raw materials as part of wastage, then it indicates that they are dependent heavily on raw material. For example, the best example for easy understanding, sugar cane. If you locate that sugar mill away from the sugar cane, what will happen? The sucrose content of the sugar cane will reduce. So technically what will happen? You will not be getting that output. So you have to locate the sugar mill no matter what, very nearer to a sugar cane factory. That is the raw material location. Okay, weight losing industry. So iron ore is converted into many kinds of, there is a process of smelting where you heat the ore, you separate iron from the ore, you get that iron, then you convert that iron into different pellets. You can see some kind of concentration of pellets at a certain factory, and this will be once again converted into the requirements of iron as per the wishes and all. So there is multiple sub products out of conversion of iron ore into iron products, into steel products. Okay, there is something called as cast iron. Had you heard this word casting? We all might know, watch some movies, some web series. Casting. What is a casting? Portrayal of a certain role, no, characters. Casting is also in the same. Iron, according to the needs of the end user. Say my end user, I need a pipe, so I need hollow pipes. So I will be developing, I will be turning that iron into liquid iron, and then I will be casting according to my requirements. Imagine I need a hollow rectangular pipes, pipe-like structures. That is one variety. Imagine I need a square based pipe-like structures, one variety. Depending on my whims and fantasies, we will convert that liquid iron by casting into multiple shapes and sizes. So that is how you have so many finished products. So their location, one of the key factor is iron ore. Say you heard about something, call it as integrated steel plant. Integrated steel plant. What is integrated steel plant? That entire conversion from the ore towards the finished product will be at one place. That is what is called as integrated steel plant. Then moving forward, you see, for example, when you talk about the iron and steel industry, iron and steel plants, one of the reason for major location of iron and steel plants in the Chota Nagpur Plateau belt area is the availability of iron ore. Availability of iron ore. Similarly, the Kemangundi mines, the Goa, Karnataka, decent centers of iron ore availability. Of course, there are other factors why iron centers are also located in big cities like Delhi. There is a technological change to it, but generally integrated steel plants like Bhilai, Roorkela, Jamshedpur, all these are located here because of the availability of iron ore. And another major raw material for iron and steel industry, that is the coal, right? Moving forward, similarly you can talk about cotton textile industry. Cotton textile industry, the easy availability of cotton in the places like Gujarat, the growth of cotton, say in the countries like in the states like Maharashtra, you can talk about Telangana, the black soils. This is what we call it, the black soils region. That is where you will find the growth of cotton. So when you wanted to develop a textile industry of cotton, you will be developing that in the places where you find the cotton, isn't it? Where do you find the cotton? You will find at places. But one of the advantage of cotton as a raw material is, it is not a dependent on the raw material completely or in terms of weight. The amount of units of cotton balls which we use in developing a cloth, say like a fabric like cotton fabrics, the raw material and the finished products, you are not finding much changes in their weight. So I would not say these are much dependent. Say for iron ore, there is a weight losing industry. If you get 1 unit of iron ore, you will not get 1 unit of iron, no, you will get only 0.7% of iron. Whereas 1 unit of cotton can grow into 1 unit of the finished fabric. So that way they are not that dependent. So that's a difference. This is what you call it as weight gaining industry, and that is an example of weight losing industry. I would not say technically weight gaining, but definitely not weight losing. So you can locate anywhere. You can locate nearer to a raw material, you can locate nearer to a market as well. That is the thing. See, the key thing here is, please understand, imagine there is an raw material, there is a factory, and then there is a market. This factory location, the key cost, if it is only involving in transporting of raw material, then the cost will be increasing. So they tend to locate here. If the raw material can be located anywhere, for example, imagine this is the Vidarbha region of Maharashtra and this is Mumbai. The cost of locating of a plant in Mumbai and the cost of locating a plant in Nagpur, which would be costlier for me? I would be weighing down. If my cost is very good in and then if there is a transportation network here, then If there is a labor availability here, I will start my factory here itself. That is the key thing here. I hope you are able to follow. That is the key thing. Okay. So, if this is Nagpur and this is Mumbai, I can locate my factory in Nagpur, I can location along the route as well as in Mumbai, depending on other factors like availability of labor, availability of land, cheaper cost and all. That is why certain industries we call it as what? Footloose industries. Footloose industries can be located anywhere. Can be located anywhere. That is the thing. Now, who is determining the location? See the geographical location, right? That is the thing. Then one more thing, for more about such information, please download, please follow my Telegram channel. You can regularly get the updates. You can scan from your phone. You can get into this picture, scan this and get into the Telegram channel so that daily updates I will be easily providing to you. Right. Then if you see about all the major cities, these major cities are the market centers. The second factor of location is market. Ultimately, you will be selling that in the marketplaces now. So, the market would determine the location. For example, assembled industry, the manufacturing of cars. Where do you developing about the cars? See, some of the big centers of cars in India or the automobile industry in India is cornered around the market centers. Say, Mumbai, Pune is one such cornered center. Chennai, Sri Perumbudur is one such market center. New Delhi, Haryana, I think you all heard the word Maruti Suzuki at Manesar plant nearer to Delhi. So, imagine if I wanted to buy BMW car, right? Imagine I am the CEO of a BMW or I am looking after the operations of a very costliest car like Audi, BMW, Volkswagen, so many other varieties. Of course, there are lower versions and there are also the higher cost versions as well. Imagine I wanted to sell a higher cost version, a cost of a car weighing around, costing around 1 crore. The usual cars in India, it will cost around 10 lakhs, right? 5 to 15 lakhs, you have different varieties of cars. We all know that. Imagine they wanted to have a high class, a high end car like 1 crore. Where can I start? Can I start say in a place like Northeast? Will it be effective to me? Will I be able to sell more cars? Of course, there are people who can buy from Northeast. I am not discriminating. But where do you find more concentration of people of having money? So, you can divide that India, you can get a map of India showing about high income tax, I think you all discuss about a concept called as disposable income. Money left over to the consumer after paying taxes, right, to an individual. So, imagine if I am earning around this much amount of money, whatever my taxes are there, after removing that, whatever the amount. Usually, if there is high disposable income, that only indicates that consumption will be increasing. So, I will see the map of India which has high disposable income, say the big centers, Delhi, the Mumbai, Chennai, all will be having decent amount of high disposable income. That is where automobile industries will be located. Market is determining the location. Say my market is, say I am exporting to the foreign country, say I am producing products in India and exporting to foreign countries, say the two-wheelers. We are decently selling two-wheelers to countries of Africa. So, I will tend to locate my factory here. Why? Because Africa will be located here, easy transport. Majority of the pharma hubs in India, pharma companies are located on the west coast. Why? Why located on the west coast? Because simple, we are regarded as hub of the, you all might heard the word look east policy. What does it indicate? It indicates that you need to look into the markets of eastern side of India. But our traditional markets are on the west, that is towards Europe, towards USA. Majority of the pharma exports happens to be Europe and USA, especially USA. So, where do you locate that? Usually we used to transport it by ships. So, they used to locate it on the west coast. That is the changing location, right? Market centers. You are getting oil from crude oil from say from the regions of Saudi Arabia with the Middle East. What will happen? You have to locate your factories here along the coastline. So, market is a determining factor. Not just that, another important thing, you have the transport. Transport has a huge role to play. So, transport will be determining what kind of locations you have. Say aircraft industry, I gave an example like Zomato. Okay, you can see the road, you can see the ship. So, the location of an industry is dependent on connectivity, transport. 4-lane vehicles, for example, the market centers are connected to all corners. If you see the golden quadrilateral route, right. So, if you are having proper connectivity of roads, railway lines, easy transportation vehicles. For example, I remember that there is a at a southern part of, if you see in there is a place called Anantapur in Andhra Pradesh. It is located at a tri-junction of Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai. So, here I think there is a factory of called as Kia Motors factory. You all know Kia company, right? Kia company. It is located nearer Anantapur, where it can cater to the markets of 3 places now. Because from Anantapur, there is a good highway connectivity of 4 lanes to Hyderabad, Bangalore and Chennai. So, it can cater to 3 big cities, strategic location, and also away from a big city. What will happen? You will find that the cost of the land is very, very cheap, right? Because this Kia company is coming from South Korea, I have also seen a restaurant, South Korean restaurants written in Korea in Anantapur. That is the uniqueness of this. Hope you are able to understand. Is my audio? Yes, Parth, is there no voice now? Parth? I think it is very clear here, voice is, audio is visible. Sorry, audio, it is audible. Okay, fine. Okay, good Parth. Have you able to understand the example of the location of Anantapur of Kia Motors? Right, okay. Right. So, this is the, now the location of a market and a transport together, that is how it is changing. Now, can you identify what are other modes of transport you have? Other modes of transport? I think everyone will tell about, say, road, rail, water, sea transport as well as air. What is another mode of transport you have? Anyone? What is another mode of transport? Anyone? Here, the another mode of transport you have, pipelines. If you see the pipelines, there is a good amount of, see, what do you transport? You transport goods, you transport people. You can also transport things like gas, oil, important raw materials, no? So, you have a good pipeline industry, and along the pipelines, you can grow decent amount of industries like, like fertilizers. Okay, say fertilizer industry can be grown here. Along the pipelines, you can develop fertilizer industries. That is the key thing. Okay, so that's it about the things. I hope you have understood the multiple things. You heard understood about the multiple factors, the key main factors, transport and all. There are so many other factors like labor, capital, government policies and all, which we will discuss in upcoming sessions. This is about the location of industries where geography has a huge role to play. For more such information of my videos, you can follow my Telegram channel, get into it. The link is also description is the link of the is also given in the description. You can check that. You can also like my video. You can share this video to your friends so that knowledge is caring, you know that, and also don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Thank you.